Okay guys, it's story time. So the other day I didn't charge my phone and I was at work, so it died. And I'm usually like on my break or lunch, I'm just like scrolling through Instagram, just looking at my social media pages and things like that. But since I didn't have my phone or anything, like my brain just went like its own way. Like I started thinking about like all these weird questions about life, about things, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it was like the weirdest thing, like when you don't have your phone and you just start thinking about like all these things. And some of the things I started thinking was just like really weird. Like I was thinking like what was I thinking? I started thinking like I forgot what I was thinking now. But it was just like random things. I'm trying to remember because it was so deep, like it was so intense. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what happens when I don't have my phone. So I started thinking about like what is it called? Global warming. I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if global warming is true, because every year it gets hotter. Like before, I remember when it was hot, it would be like in the 80s. Like this was like 2-3 years ago, and it was really hot, and we were like, oh my gosh, it's 80 degrees, this and that, like we're dying. And then like last year it was like it hit I mean, I live in California, so it's always hot, but it just seems like in the summer every year it just keeps getting hotter. Like last year the highest temperature was like in the 90s, like 98, 90, whatever. And then this year like we hit like 110, like all these things. So I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe like it's true, global warming is like a true thing that we need to worry about. And so then I started thinking about like the end of the world. I'm like, okay, so like what if like how are we gonna, like, how's the world gonna end? Like, is there gonna be like earth catastrophe or something? Like, are we gonna die from an earthquake or something? What if everybody just becomes sterile, like in the earth? So you know how like people die and people are born, and that's how we keep like creating generations. But what if at one point everybody could become sterile and we can't reproduce, and that's the end of humanity? Like, so I started thinking about all these things. And then the thing that I always like just keep wondering about, like I've wondered about this since I was like little, like, do ants poop? Because I never seen poop droppings, and I don't know if they really do. Like, how do they survive without pooping? Like that really, like that question just really like gets me all the time. I'm just like, and I've googled it, but it's not like, I forgot what it said, but it's not like clear to me. I don't know, like I just wonder about that. So has that ever happened to you guys, where you like don't have your phone and you just like start thinking about random things? And what's the craziest like question that you've asked yourself that you just like thought about and you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I thinking about this? So let me know, comment below, and that's it. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.